that struggled last season, and sometimes it's just finding that right combination of heroes, right combination of players. So Bermuda, it is not saying anything against all of these individual members, but if you zoom out and take a look at the picture as a whole, they are struggling just a little bit to get things going. The ball rolling, which will be Umte's choice of main tank right here on that Hammond. So Bermuda with a pretty unique look. Oftentimes we see a long distance hit scan thrown in with this composition, but Wayfast wants to try the Tracer once again. He was able to get quite a lot of good work done, but the question is syncing up those pieces of damage between him, Sha, and Ultima Web to make sure that you can, chunk people down.
Here we go, Pizza Demon getting the first kill, and it's on Alarm, who is only sitting at 12% on that Transcendence. That is not something that you see every day, as Nice is going to survive that con blast. OG gets taken very low. Bernard trying to take that Mercy out of the sky, but even though Bermuda has a numbers advantage right now, they're not quite taking advantage of that. I was looking at Toxic just then as Wayfast is going to take him down. Bermuda has a huge opportunity now to grab this first point, which was something they were unable to do on Blizzard World last map. Karkar making things interesting now. Fuji University are going to struggle to come back. Oh, and Tracer rewinds just in time. Wayfast saving his own life there. Same thing. They cannot finish these kills so far as Pizza Demon is back. And while Fuji University's best case scenario at that point was taking time off the clock, which they did, Bermuda did take them to their version of school and got this point A on their first fight, even though it took a while.
Took a while, but they stayed in it, and that's what you have when you're running this kind of highly mobile, high damage composition is if you're alive, why not still stay in it? Fusion University with Goats are the ones who have to make sure that everybody is alive. 2 members now, EMP'd Wayfast, looking for the bomb. Did he find the stick? No, but Ultima Web still cuts down Karkar.
I heard the damage go off, so I believe the pulse bomb did connect with something, but was unable to grab that kill. Bermuda coming in here. Look at this. This is some reckless abandon that we thought Bermuda might come in here. This is how you surprise a team like Fusion University. You forget about the last 2 games. You think about this one. Bermuda are going to walk into the second point. Will Fusion University be able to contest? The rally is out. The circle's almost completed, but no. Snillo is able to get to the point. Everyone will be back here. We're seeing some assault shenanigans right now. And Fusion University are going to have all 6 members back soon.
Yeah, Ultima Web, those 60% up to that barrage. Wayfast, 80% to that pulse bomb. Can they bring it back at this point? Grav out as well. Pizza Demon out. Okay, now this is the time that you may just want to cut your losses. Wayfast likely going to swap,
what they're doing.
Throw out the pulse bomb. Why not? Really good first charge, though, from Bermuda.
Almost took it, 94.3% onto that second point, but it doesn't mean they can take it again. Fusion University, maybe shaking a little bit in their boots.
Gotta, just unclench all the sphincters, right? It was a close thing, Boop, and I see you shaking your head, but you know I'm right. Nice now on the Sombra, going to be looking to give Fusion University a chance for a good engagement. EMP, one of those great openers, but Sha already has it in hand, and Bermuda actually aren't going to switch. All right, man, let's stick into your guns, and you got a lot of them.
They must like the Chengdu Hunters, Bermuda does, and it's going to work out as Ultimate going to take Bernard out of this fight, so no diva for them, and Bernard has been a rock for Fusion University, and now they're just going to have a hard place. Bermuda is looking not so good. I got a little ahead of myself there. OG with that res is just going to be wasted. Bermuda gave us all hope just for a period of time, and Fusion University dashed it.
Unlucky right there. Great first start from Bermuda.
Whew, I got to calm down.
do you need a break? Fusion University don't, though. They're looking much more solid on this defense. Alarm throwing in all of those orbs. See, he's on fire, though he won't have that all-important Transcendence. But they might not need it for another fight or 2, since Bermuda have also wholesale swaps gone to Costco, picking up that Goats composition, which means a full reset on their ultimate charge.
Anytime I see Samba put her hand out for the hack, I think, stop in the name of love. The self-destruct is going to come out. Transcendence is going to follow. No kills from that Transcendence. The EMP going to grab 4 members. Pizza Demon was using that Transcendence to make sure those hacked members stayed alive. But with Shug getting demeched and Umte being hacked, but the support is there. Is it going to be enough? Yes, Bernard will finish off that kill. Fusion University do get another defense. They've already taken about 3 minutes off the clock. Good work from them.
The first fight is always the scariest for the defense, especially if you make some swaps. Fusion University got a little lucky in that case. But Bermuda now, their best first chance, which is that early rush off of your point A. Cap has been dashed, but now they've been brawling for long enough that Wayfast going to be 30% away from that grab. So Bermuda will have some tools to engage, but this is the problem with Sombra, though. You're infinitely stealthy. You can be wherever you want to be and just completely take every ability and every ultimate off the table for Bermuda with a good position here.
All right, let's see who's going to stop in the name of love. EMP is going to come out and is going to grab 5 members. Pizza Demon was going to be a 6th, but already taken down. I believe he was hacked, and Nice just deleted him from this earth. But now Bermuda knows the EMP is not going to be available for at least one more fight. Let's see if Bermuda can take advantage of that.
Textbook again for Fusion University. They have the tools and they can use them. It's no, oftentimes we see the teams, when they have such good looks, a good advantage, and they squander it, right? It's like sewing with a monkey wrench. But in this case, Fusion University, again, targeting all of the right heroes. They see me hacking Zenyatta's, right? One clip that fool, it ain't no prob for Sombra. And that's kind of the way that Nice has been playing this whole time. Utter confidence, he's not
Just
afraid
like
of.
that.
Yeah, that's his theme song, though. He like walks around with AirPods, I don't know. But Pizza Demon now will be close to that trans. Fusion University can't let their guard down in this next fight.
All right, Bermuda using that rally to escort the team on to the objective. Fusion University holding on to that Earthside are going to go ahead and use it. Not going to get anybody. Umte is hacked, so that shield isn't available. Unfortunately, there isn't a team on the field from Fusion University who could have really taken advantage of that. And Bermuda taking them off of this field right now. Snilla with that rally was enough last time, but they are unable to maintain any sort of presence on the point. Bermuda do capture both points. But props to Fusion University, they were facing a 6.5-minute time bank at the beginning of that second point, down to 1 minute and 44 seconds.
Yeah. Tough ask even for Fusion University. Sometimes the cards just don't fall in your favor. But once more, you cannot relax against any of these unsigned teams, right? Bermuda, they finish out the map, whereas they got full held on Blizzard World. We have to remember that history. So it is great sign for this team coming in here. It looks like they really came into their own with all of that DPS, right? They gave it, 3 good goes, which is something that we don't see as often from many of the attacking teams.
That was like a shoulder shrug, why not?
Right?
Right?
Yeah,
why not?
go for it, go for it. And, they showed that Fusion University can bleed a little. Whether it's a torrent or just a paper cut has yet to be seen.
Interesting. Fusion University now got to be, this was the weakest they've looked all series. That's saying something because they still looked pretty great. Snillo doing some hero plays there at the end, maintaining his presence on the point for everyone to come back. That could have been way worse. That first push almost ended up in 2 points for Bermuda, but 5 minutes later, they're back at this 1 minute and 44-second time bank. Looking at this team comps, Bermuda going to be rocking that double sniper. It's like they made like a gentleman's agreement or something that like one team is not going to run goats.
Who knows? Double sniper is a really good look. We've seen time and time again on Volskaya, point A. And Ultimate Weapon Wayfast are very capable mechanically to pull off this composition. So Umte and Sha, the name of the game is going to be playing protection, playing Ring Around the Rosie. There's not going to be as much pressure on the objective as you would have when you're running the Sombra Goats as Fusion University is, or just, straight Goats. Changsik, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on me too. But it's going to be textbook Goats for Fusion University. Bermuda going to be trying to set up a little bit of a crossfire between these two snipers, take advantage of the control you have with those lines of sight.
Wayfest can keep himself protected pretty much on his own. That grappling hook is such a great ability to do that. Ultimate Web going to be doing the same thing, but Ultimate Web, I believe 12% is just passive at this point in time. So, no, I think that's a 0. Oh, there it is. All I needed to do was cast a curse hit, then he was able to get a pot shot in. 26%. Stormbow not going to really connect either. Ooh, man, Fusion University is going to be looking good if Ultimate Web can't connect on those arrows. The Dragon Strike, such a good ability to split whatever Fusion University is running and funnel a certain amount of the team into a certain part of the map. As Fusion University still actually in an advantage right now on this push because Sha is going to get de-mech'd. They were like, Sha, please, no mech for you.
And Fusion University now playing a slow game, and it's working out for them piece by piece. Dismantling Bermuda right there, and it did kind of come down to the DPS in that case. Excellent call to point out Ultimate Web's ultimate generation. You want to see, a very early ultimate coming into here because now you're at 0.
Fusion University got the jump on the point as well. We're unable to grab that first tick, but the pin did connect, I believe, onto Chongqing, who's so low, but is still alive. Gets Primal, so he's going to be safe for the time being. Is still going to get that first kill, but here on Assault, you need to win 1 or 2 of these fights in a row, as Chongqing and still going to find themselves on the kill feed again, too. Fusion University still have that Primal Rage. Without Alarm, he's not going to be building up to that Transcendence, so if they do lose out here, they're going to be waiting for that Transcendence to try to re-attack, but Fusion University don't want to attack again. They want to grab it right here, right now. Bermuda struggling again, but the way that these kills are going, it's 1 by 1, not all at once, and Fusion University don't like that, as the fisticuffs are thrown. A lot of Bermuda still low, but the point is still alive and contested. Alarm has switched over to Wrecking Ball to make sure that he gets back on to this objective. Doesn't really need it. Fusion University are going to grab 2 points way faster than Bermuda did, but you looked at me so concerned.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like eyebrows furrowed, lips pursed.
Oh, maybe I was just exercising.
Okay.
You know, facial expressions is some of the little exercise I ever get. That and eating. But Fusion University, they got quite the time bank that Bermuda has to chew through, right? 5.5 minutes. That, I'm sorry for ever doubting you, Fusion University. Oh, they look so beatable this season. And they really ran a clinic right there with Goat's composition. I still want to go back to the way that Bermuda defended that point A, because honestly, they weren't doing a ton wrong. and Sha stretched to their limits, playing keep away, trying to keep their backline and their snipers safe. And I said, you know, hey, what you gain in, you know, crossfire and the line of sight and the control that you get with the double sniper, you give up in point presence. The other thing that you give up is, you know, just resources, right? Your 2 snipers are going to be pulling almost everything that you have, and the hope running that composition is that you're just buying enough time for your snipers to get damage in, and that unfortunately was not happening for either of them. So Bermuda eventually just lost the waiting game.
Yeah, Wayfast, known for his Tracer and Widow over in Europe. Let's see if he's going to make a name for himself here in NA. Fusion University have already made a name for themselves. Right now it's just making sure that name stays, and that name is undefeated.
Is FU.
Oh, okay. So Fusion University is going to try to maintain their undefeated record here. They're only 1 map away. Bermuda only have 1.5 minutes, so that's about 2 fights to attack this point. So this first one might be for ultimates. The second one might be the real one, because when you're running that Pharah, you're really looking to get that barrage.
That's the all-important opener. These days, it's not just press Q to respawn. Your hope is press Q to break apart this Ghost comp, unravel that sweater. So Bernard going to be a big target here, because if they can get him out of mech really early on, that's so much more freedom for both Ultimate Web and Wayfast Tracer. But right now, it's just a lot of damage into shields.
Well, and another great thing is that they're apart right now, so only 2 members of Fusion University were feeding that ultimate and damage into that Pharah, and that means the rest of the team are going to be able to do what they want, as Alarm's going to go down first again. This was not a good thing for Fusion University on this last round. Chongqing will follow. This is almost deja vu for point 8, and Fusion University, they don't really mind about losing this. They do get a consolation prize on Tisha, who will have, they've got to have EMP going into this next fight. Fusion University, though, are going to have to defend on point B.
Yep. Right now it's just one last Zarya versus the world. Oh, a couple of more stragglers here. Bermuda, though, playing that really intelligently. Note how nobody ended up using one of those ultimates. This is you're staring down 6 check marks coming into point B, and although they're only going to have barely 40 seconds in order to do it, they have all the tools. Once again, run in hot. Fusion University, they don't yet have that that all-important transcendence, and even if they did, we might see an EMP cut it off. Off that rally.
6 check marks, but the only one that really matters is just EMP. The EMP is out, gets 3. Nice Bernard and Alarm are hacked. Let's see if it's going to matter. Shell gonna get that first kill. Actually, with how much they've already invested in this, Bermuda did want a little bit more than 1 kill onto Chongqing. As this is Assault, you're gonna need a little bit more than that. As Shell's gonna go down. Bermuda are not gonna get another opportunity to attack this again, so that's a pretty big res. Transcendence did protect the Mercy to make sure that happened, but with Umte going down, the beef just ain't there. The beef is weak. Bermuda gonna have a really hard time trying to contest this over again. It's just, they need a miracle, and I don't think they're going to find it. Fusion University are going to have to get both points, though, to beat Bermuda here on Assault.
No miracle on ice this time around for Bermuda. Umte tags back in, but it is going to all be for naught. You're absolutely right, Boo. You have 6 ultimates running in, and before the first 10 seconds of the fight have elapsed, you've used all of them.
And only 1 death.
Only 1 death. That is not the value that you want from ults that are so impactful.
You can excuse the pulse bomb. I think you can excuse the pulse bomb. The EMP into barrage, though, is something that you really, really want.
Yeah.
And they did not find.
That is a fight ender. Bermuda had the tools. Unfortunately, couldn't quite make it happen there on their offense, though they still have a chance to hold Fusion University. So Fusion University, they need 1 point and a tick. So there is some room to play with, but again, any early pick is really going to hamper Bermuda's defense. Fusion University can take as much time as they want here on point A, go for the low and slow kind of pressure cooker type of offense, peck apart Bermuda piecemeal. Maybe you can draw out a few ultimates that way when they feel like the fight might still be winnable. Is it worth investing the sound barrier? Maybe, right? And that is going to be the name of Fusion's game.
Well, Bermuda need to check their grip strength because they weren't holding on to much during their last defense. Fusion University are going to be doing their own little shenanigans in spawn. This is all just to get us excited, only to switch to goats most likely. They can run quad DPS here. The defense is going to be running goats. And I like this choice because Wayfast and Ultimate Web did not perform like they needed to on those snipers last time. Good adjustment.
Yeah. Might as well go for the tried and true. Even if you do give up point A, you can likely hold on to that ultimate charge for the point B fight. So Fusion University, Chongsik fight. Okay, no, there we go. All right, I knew it. Okay, because that would have truly been some, Magachu Torbjorn shenanigans right there if you put your main tank on Sombra. So Fusion University going to go for that goats push once again.
Yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of scouting. Anyone can do it, really. The Reinhardt builds so much charge that time that you're sacrificing on the Sombra, not really that big of a deal. Fusion University now entering this attack very patiently. They're a very patient team in general. Oh, I like what's happening here as Bernard distracting Shut over on the corner there as the rest of Fusion University actually make it onto the point, and that actually might have been able to grab some space for Fusion University, and they're in a very, very good position right now. Umte's gonna have to jump away so low. Shut also very low. The armor pack from Ultimate Left has already been used. It's one of the only burst heals that they have. So Pizza Demon and OG gonna have to take a little bit more of that weight. Chongsik though also getting taken very low. So is Karkar. So this fight has evened up. Umte is still alive somehow. OG is gonna be the first to fall for Bermuda. Fusion University now have a 6v5 for this point. Umte's still alive, hovering around just like those 2 or 3 health bars for the majority of that fight. But it doesn't matter because no one is alive for Bermuda anymore. Fusion University can be walking in to this next point with a lot of time to spare.
Yeah, 40 minutes. 40 minutes.
I'm the numbers person.
You are the numbers person. But with words, I will say, Bermuda have nearly 5 ultimates. This is the best case scenario, and one of them's gone.
Oh, yeah, that means that the grab was eaten. That's a little bit of a visual bug there. The Transcendence coming from Alarm, going to save a lot of Fusion University from death. Bermuda only having that rally remaining. The armor's going to be all that they have, while Chongsik has the Earth Shatter, and Bernard's going to use the self-destruct to get a nice classic double. Bernard Barm, 2 kills there. Fusion University in the driver's seat to grab this match win as Karkar gets a little bit of a delayed sound barrier there, a little bit of displacement.
Tons of hang time, man.
A lot of hang time. There's a little bit of an updraft. He's saving a little bit of gas mileage, right? Or is that the opposite?
Yeah, he was that's something totally different. What we do know is Fusion University will clinch that series win. And now it's just going to be a question of those map differentials. And actually, Fusion University, they want to come into Escort and play as hard of a game as they can as well because of that first 5-game set. They're actually sitting at 3-2, 4th currently in the standings in their group, which is not where they want to stay.
Yeah, before these games have been played. And so with Mayhem Academy also getting a sweep 4-0, Fusion University actually have a little bit to make up. So 4-0 here is the best way to do that. Then I think they'll only be at a -2 for that map differential. That will be so important by the end of the season. Every map matters here in North American Contenders and Contenders all around the world. But now we're going to be going to Escort to finish things off. Bermuda, Signs of Life. Signs of Life, we got some extra rounds there. They were able to capture point A. Waffled a little bit of an opportunity with 6 ultimates there on their defense. Is that a sign of just kind of they're newer here, even though they've been playing in trials? Some of the members are new. Or is that Fusion University knowing how to deal with that?
A little bit of, column A, a little bit of column B. Certainly Fusion University's reactions to all of those big ultimates dropping, always very good. They always seem to have a trance or a sound barrier at the ready to keep everybody alive. But I think it could just come down to the fact that Bermuda is a mixed roster. If I believe correctly, is still in Korea. I don't believe they have a team house or anything like that, so you're dealing not only with ping, but with, the communication, the language barrier potentially. So there's a lot of, factors to juggle here for this Bermuda team, and while they had a lot of really hot moments, it's clear that they still need some time to gel, right? Jello needs a few more hours in the fridge before it's fully set.
Very, very good point. But now Fusion University have had time to set, right? Mm-hmm. This is a team that on paper, I think they should, they're the defending champions. They've never lost a game. This should be where we're at right now, that 3-0. If they are to falter on our escort map, how are they going to do it?
You go in there, again, with either a Sombra, you go in there with a really hot Widowmaker, potentially, a Pharah that nails a ton of rockets, because it's clear that Bermuda cannot beat Fusion University at their game. Goats.
Yes.
Right? Pure goats is not going to be Bermuda's path to a victory here on Gibraltar. And already in spawn, we have Wayfast teasing that Widowmaker, and Gibraltar is such a good map type for long distance damage. And that's where Bermuda can try and take advantage. I mean, Ultimate Web and Wayfast didn't get a ton done on Volskaya Point A, but this is a different map, right? You saw what happened in that game. Now you can, make moves to try and fix that.
Some of my memories of Wayfast are him on Volskaya A on Widowmaker. So we didn't get to see that get recreated, but maybe we will get to see this Widowmaker do some work here on Gibraltar that has been Widowmaker friendly for a very long amount of time. Thought about Tracer for a second. Gonna go ahead and commit to that Widowmaker. Let's see if this opening shot is gonna be worth it. They now know the Widowmaker is there. The sound cue is all enough. The pot shots aren't gonna be finding anything as we're gonna be switching back to Winston Goats.
Yes, now here and Sha have to be kept alive and healthy. You can't contest if your main tank is, yo-yoing between half and a third health. And already the engagement comes in, but Nice is the first one to fall.
Oh, Nice dropped down and then just got destroyed. Ultimate Web going to be doing the same thing on the other side. Back and forth trades right now. Bermuda have one more member. It's a 5v4. Fusion University still looking to do something on here. So now do they reset or do they attack? And right now their hand is going to be forced. This is what we mean by getting another team to play your game. Fusion University had to engage there and die because they didn't have another option.
No, and now Karkar are going to be using the speed to get back to spawn with haste, because Bermuda rounding this corner, if they so choose, they can actually push up really aggressively and see if they can catch anybody out, which is why Fusion University playing very far back. This will be their last shot at the defense, but with Bernard coming up on his bomb, he can clear the whole point.
Let's see if he's going to be able to get to that bomb before getting taken down. Shah going to have a bomb of his own, and it's going to be first, so there isn't a lot on the other side to counter it right now other than these Halos bubble and nice particle barriers. Let's see if they're going to find any value out of these ultimates. Umte going to be using that Primal Rage, is on the high ground right now, going to be dropping down, going to be pushing these Halo off of the payload. Self-destruct from Bernard, not going to be finding anything, and now these fights have devolved into different sections of this map. We got some in health pack, we got some on the payload, everyone moving back onto the payload because the Graviton Surge from Wayfast is going to be there, but so is Alarm's Transcendence. Snillo, though, going down.
Snillo out here. Fusion University just trying to shave seconds off of the clock at this point. Lost their main tank as well. So Bermuda
good stuff.
Finally getting the ball rolling just a little bit here on point A. Yeah, and on Goats.
And so Umte going to get the final couple kills, and they're going to really punish these short spawns that happen for Fusion
Alas, Snillo, we barely knew you. And this is really, really good stuff for Umte specifically. As a Winston coming up against another Winston, you have the Tesla cannon, you have your melee, but one of your biggest tools is your Primal Rage, and having that advantage, having the ability to dive in deep and not care about whether or not you're going to be chunked down, because you can always press Q and keep the fight going. That's a big advantage for Umte right here, who hasn't yet had the opportunity to pop off on Winston.
Umte was funny just then. You think you're going to spray some bullets into me? I'm just going to slightly move backward. And Bernard going to be taken very low, below half right now, does make it back to his team. A lot of these guys know exactly what the limits of these characters are. You see that by when they engage and when they disengage. Nice going to engage with the Graviton Surge. Pizza Demon has the Transcendence. We're probably not going to see any kills at this moment in time until these ultimates have been used. As Still is going to use Rally. Sound Barrier going to be happening on the side of Bermuda. Now they're going to be using their own Graviton Surge and going to be finding a little bit more more value out of that as Alarm getting taken so low, and then finally out of this game. Fuji University look like something is going on there. Maybe they're relaxing because they've already won the match, but Bermuda looking good here on Gibraltar, and maybe a map that they practice a lot or are very confident on.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, certainly looks very, very comfortable on this Winston. So they now have that point be in 3 minutes to finish out Gibraltar, and this is a map where we see, you know, goats be goats, that it happens quite often. The last point is so open, you get a ton of value from Primal Rages, a ton of value from those self-destructs, and already Bernard has to beat a hasty retreat right there. He does not want to be forced out of mech when he's the only member on Fusion University who's holding on to an ult.
Another theory could be that he's taking damage on purpose to give Alarm some ult charge because he is getting close to that Transcendence. Bermuda going to be using that Transcendence in response to the self-destruct from Bernard, but Bermuda and Fuji University don't really have much after that, as Wayfast going to get the first kill on Alarm. They potentially could be moving this all the way to the end.
Catching all of those members in that small room is a Winston dream right there for Umte. He has already popped that Primal Rage, but they might not need it. Wayfast already with his main tank guarding this spawn point. We may see an early grab come out just to finish things off.
They are going to make it onto the payload, so all they have to do is make sure they stay on it at this point. You don't want this to end without you being in power of whether you win it or end it. Ultimate Web going to be using that rally. Gets taken a little low. Karkar doing a little bit of bullying, but maybe it was a little bit aggressive. Gets isolated from the rest of the fight. Bernard struggling during Gibraltar so far. I actually think that's more on Bermuda's side, making him struggle, as no one's going to be on the payload for Fusion University. Bermuda doing a really great job zoning him out.
Super unlucky. Nice got caught in the grab and naded himself to death. So talk about, you know, taking your own destiny in your hands. That could have been, you know, the linchpin of the fight right there for Fusion University. You have so much damage coming in for Bermuda, healthy with all 6 members, and you just lost your own Zarya to unfortunate circumstances. So Fusion University, we talked about this team getting comfortable, right? And maybe right now is just time to, you know, take a cold splash of water on the face or something. You
have someone slap you, right? Same thing, right?
Take your destiny into your own hands. Slap yourself.
That's got some levels. Really good work.
Because Bermuda, we just said they looked so shaky on goats. They were undoubtedly shaky on goats. But they right? Exactly. Pulled themselves up by their own bootstraps, and great engages there. And Fusion University, it felt like, they're like, oh, we know we're a great team. You know, sauntering in with a little bit of that swagger, waiting for the better or the best defense. And suddenly, Bermuda on top of you, you get caught out of position, and there is no more defense, right?
Something else I want to bring up, we brought it up at the beginning of this game, was the fact that Beast Halo and Chongsek are getting subbed in and out, playing 2 maps each this time around as well. Beast Halo doing the pulls, and Chongsek doing the meat of that sandwich. How do you think it's been going so far for each of those tanks respectively?
Well, if you take a look at the results in front of us, we do have Fusion University.
Use your eyes.
They need to finish out this map, which is not something that they had to contend with on Volskaya, and Bermuda going for an early hold. And Ultima Web on Sir Hog. Love this. Pizza Demon with the Moira just ready to pump damage into their tanks, and they're going to need it because Snillo with the opening bastion, just looking if he can see a pick, whittle down Bermuda, and they're going to be ducking into that hallway with the quickness.
So this is actually really cool. Bernard with that angle was standing at a perfect position to where if they left that room to try to attack Bernard, Bastion would be putting bullets into their heads, and that's not what they wanted. That's why they're giving a lot of this payload up for free. Ultimate Web going to get that first kill with that Roadhog. When was the last time a Roadhog got a kill? Here's the Coalescence going to be coming through at the same time from Pizza Demon. Man, Bermuda showing us some fresh looks, but will it work as Pizza Demon's Coalescence is going to run out? Is going to get purple. Not going to get matter so far. Fusion University unable to use this bastion so far on the payload. No protection of this president just yet. That will change here in just a second as they finally get Snillo onto the high ground, and now he's going to get himself to an ult.
No sleeping on the job. Ultimate Web turned into ground pork right there by Snillo, who is absolutely going to want to use this tank mode. And Fusion University with some good adaptations right there, recognizing the advantages that they had, even on a cheese pick you might expect with this Bastion. You know, you have all these tanks. If nothing else, Ultima Web's Roadhog going to serve as a big ult battery for your Bastion. And now you roll in here ready with that tank mode and a Shatter and Bomb.
The Bastion is rolling, going to go ahead and reposition Bermuda on the high ground right now. Wavefest and Umte have already dropped down, so they're trying to make something happen. Stillo is going to use that take mode. In pro play, we usually don't see a ton of effectiveness from this ult, as the shields are going to be there. Earth Shatter from Umte, going to knock Bernard onto the ground. Sound Barrier is going to be there to counter that, and that was good timing, because actually Beast Halo did get stunned during that engagement. Umte very low as well. This Bastion is what I would call working out.
In your expert opinion, Pizza Demon playing a great game on this Moira. 2 fights, 2 ultimates. That's good ult charge even for that hero. However, it's not going to be Bupkis against an Ana and a Bastion. They're still pushing their advantage right here, punishing those short spawns. And that means that Fusion University have 3 tank ultimates to their name and a nasty nano boost. This is Grandma Juice very bitter.
Yeah, I don't think Snillo likes safety as well, using a bullet to get the fire extinguisher. That's not really teaching the young kids good lessons of safety. Snillo doesn't really care about safety, though, as he has been...
I got the high ground, Bermuda.
Yeah, he's been the risk for Bermuda so far. Fusion University know exactly how to use this comp, and they've done it before. Oh, good Graviton Surge, though. Everyone got low immediately, and that's perfect scenario for Bermuda, who are finally pushing Fusion University off of this point. Now let's see if Snillo is going to change up.
I would say so. You have 4 chokes, but each one of them is like a firing range, right? You know if you're going to walk through them, you're going to potentially be chunked down, taking a lot of damage. Fusion University don't want to feed that ultimate charge to Bermuda, nor do they want to give up a couple of good pushes, because even with that swap onto Brick, Fusion University still holding onto 4 ultimates, whereas Bermuda can only receive that aggression with the Sound Barrier and the Rally. Very few options other than those on the table.
Oh, I think there's a little bit of bluffing going on now from Bermuda, using the Rally aggressively. Fusion University are using the bigger main combo in response to this. Bermuda actually doing some good work there. The Sound Barrier was an overinvestment. You were always going to lose that fight. The Rally, though, the aggressiveness took Fusion University by surprise just a little bit. They invested the 2 big ultimates there. Bermuda actually could have come out of that with a little bit more.
Yeah, it just got super unlucky that half of the team was caught on one side of the door, and then poor Umte, who was bobbing like an apple right there, caught on the other side, so nobody getting the benefit of his shielding. Now they still have 1 chance.
Umte's going to use Umte's going to use that Earth Shatter, not get anything from it. It's so interesting that these Earth Shatters get charged so quickly now that you just use it when you think it's going to happen.
And it on cooldown,
and for those of you who might not know why they're Earth Shattering into these shields, a lot of times they're predicting the flick, and so once that shield is down, maybe to swing or maybe to charge to get that Earth Shatter in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not worked more times than it has so far today, at least in these last 2 games. So Fusion University are working it out right now. Beast Halo going to be trying with his own Earth Shatter for the next fight.
Exactly. I feel so bad for Umte. You know, he charges it so quickly, but without setup from a Brig Shield Bash, without, you know, an EMP, a hack or something, it's like, you know, this here Umte guy. Heat Drop Shatter doesn't matter. Now he's just going to die.
I can't believe you can do that. Very impressive. Fusion University are going to try to just do this fight. See that Earth Shatter going to find a lot more value. 3 members on the ground. That's a pretty big shatter, but Bermuda is able to take it. They received that shatter well, and they gave a gift back, and that gift was a reset.
A free trip back to Respawn, all expenses paid.
We're going to Disneyland. Respawn.
Oh, shucks. But Fusion University, again, seemed like they were caught off guard with the way that they so decisively won that point B, not expecting that aggression from Bermuda. Grab spawn, okay. Somebody's, you know, this is Bermuda, but they might be feeling salty.
Hey, there it is, the Graviton Surge. That is some good BM if I've ever seen one. Right into the spawn. Umte has an Earth Shatter for the next fight because of
hard eye
it.
contact right now. It's like, I see that. I see that.
Here we go. I love what they're doing now. Fusion University going to have to be forced to maybe use the self-destruct to come out of spawn. Nope. They're going to go ahead and seek that space. Bermuda have that 5 ults. They can take this fight really anywhere.
Exactly. Bermuda has their destiny in their own hands, you might say, with 5 ultimates ready. So Fusion University, they got to string together a couple of good fights if they want to get some distance on this card. Rally is popped by Ultra Web. That's a sign for Umte to go in and find just 1 member.
The shield was in the way. Self-destruct is out for Bernard. Not going to find anything. Will does find anybody. We've got the Graviton Search out for Nice. They decided to go not with the combo. Maybe was doing a little bit of a zoning play, Bernard was. But now we've got trades at 5v5 right now. The defense are not looking so great for the first time in a little bit. Fusion University finally finding themselves on top of the pile. Bermuda are going to have to reset, and they're going to be coming in with the lack of resources.
Went in really aggressively after Ultimate Web popped Rally, which could be expected, but unfortunately he didn't get anything for his ultimate, and then pulled a lot of resources from the rest of his team to try and keep that Reinhardt alive. And Fusion University, they just had more ultimates in the tank. But heading into this last fight here, it's going to be fairly even.
Hey, big shatter, 3 members on the ground. Ultimate Web will be the next one to go back to spawn. Good stuff from Beast Halo. And now the payload will be reaching the end, but look at this time bank right now. Fusion University going to be ending with less than a minute. Bermuda still have 3 minutes in the bank for them. This isn't over just yet. Now it is. Fusion University, if Dudes finish the map, they're going to be attacking first on this next round.
Yes, so Fusion University maybe kicking themselves just a little bit with letting a couple of those fights go the way that they did.
See, the reason why I make sound is the fact that I think Bermuda played very well through that. Yeah. And it's not like things fell the wrong way for Fusion University, right? I think Bermuda pushed it, right? They pushed that first domino, and then things started falling.
Certainly a distinction. You can always question the Bastion pick. After point A, Snillo did basically nothing with the Bastion, and was certainly not contributing as much as he normally would have if he was on a Brigida or something a little bit more reliable, a little bit more consistent, I would say. So I still think Fusion University gave Bermuda some of those opportunities, but it is credit to Bermuda for recognizing that and just rolling in there. Man, loved kind of the confidence that we finally started to see from even though, you know, he wasn't necessarily pulling magic tricks, pulling rabbits out of his hat. Bermuda was playing with a different atmosphere, it felt like.
Nice. Fusion University is not going to be playing Symmetra. Bernard is going to be using the teleport to put Snillo into a good position. Nate switched right away. Bermuda going to be rocking the same composition they did on the last time they saw point A here on Gibraltar on defense, and it did not work for them. So let's see if their fortunes are going to change this time around.
Shake the magic 8-ball. Maybe. Oh, okay. All right, so we have Beast Halo being that dedicated shield for Snillo. This is a big investment for a single Bastion. They haven't yet set up on the payload, looking to see if they can find one of the defenders out first. And Bermuda, I don't know if they expected this, but they're going in anyway. Snillo down at the hands of Ultima Web. My hat's off to you, Sir Hog.
Hey, but it looks like Fusion University might be coming back here, even though Bermuda did, Pizza Demon is gone. The spawns are a little bit further from them, but they're holding so close. Fusion University have already taken 20 to 30 seconds off of that clock that they're not going to have. So now the minute they get on this payload is they can't get off. This will happen in overtime.
Yeah, that was a really painful poor investment from Snillo, who is now so behind with this Brigida. Already ready with that shatter. Everybody's got to stick to the payload.
3 members of Fusion University on the ground. Bermuda setting themselves up for a really good win here, taking a map of Fusion University, especially after those, mostly those previous 2 maps that we saw Bermuda just bungle, really. Fusion University had their number. Bermuda still not done with this map just yet. They wanna add a little bit more sparkle. Bernard does too with a couple more kills, but this is still Bermuda's payload to lose, especially after that kill, after that hook. Whole Hog now going into Bernard. The defense matrix is back, but it's not going to be back for long. Whole Hog keeping everyone away from the payload. Good stuff, Ultima Web. Bermuda stopping them in Car Wash.
Smart play. Smart play from Bermuda. You're waggling your finger. I stick to my words, Boop. Because, with a minute, right, you do know some givens, even though you're the defense, right? So what you know is if they get that point A, it's probably going to be in overtime, right? Even if we hold close, even if we lose, we'll have one more shot to defend. So everything that Bermuda did was, a conscious decision right there. Even pushing all the way up into spawn, it meant the loss of Pizza Demon, got a little unlucky right there, but even so, the way that they pushed that aggression, and then when Fusion University were charging out of a spawn with their full 6, they cede that space, take the better engagement later on. And Ultima Web's choice of Roadhog even, I'm going to give him the credit right there. His ultimate, that Whole Hog, worked exactly as you would hope it would. Overtime, right, you have to keep bodies on the point, and what better way to blow them off of it than a giant scrap gun.
Bastion just seems to have diminishing returns. The more you see him, the worse he does, right? Like, that's why surprise Bastion is a thing.
Yep.
And so
surprise being the operative word, right?
Yeah, and that time it wasn't quite a surprise. They must have, like, they know that it's a possibility at that point, and that gives them a little bit more room to work with, as Bermuda doesn't have a lot of room to go to get this map win. Fusion University have already locked this up 3-0, but it could be 3-1. Bermuda taking a map off of our defense units.
That would be a big win for the 4th place unsigned team coming in from Trials. Bermuda, they're hunting for it right now. Wayfast needs to get a little bit more charge right here, and Fusion University recognize that. So they're playing a little bit of keep away. Finally, they do drop.
All right, Bermuda's cooldowns are gone, so Fusion University do have a little bit of an opening, but Wayfast doesn't care about cooldowns. He just cares about damage. This is what they needed to do all game, really, is just kind of don't be a, you know, like, even though they weren't really playing afraid, there's just this, like, aggression and this control and intentionality that Bermuda are bringing to the table right are bringing to the table right now. That was so good onto Alarm. That they didn't have, like, just this energy and this feeling throughout the rest of the series.
Indeed. Bermuda have really woke up, smelled the coffee, and it's going to mean a map win against Fusion University. Wow.
Yeah, something that they were unable to do against Mayhem Academy last week. No one's been able to do it against Mayhem Academy. To be completely clear, Fusion University do take this win a 3-1. Make some interesting choices and decisions in terms of positioning, how to deal with the Bastion, right, their own Bastion, right? Do we keep it for point 2? Yes, we lose that. And then let's go ahead and do it for a second time for our next attack. And they called their, they called it. They knew exactly what cards they were holding.
Yeah, good stuff from Bermuda. They certainly had some elementary mistakes that they didn't need to do in the first half of this series, but it was exactly as you said, once they stopped playing afraid, right? You have such a great main tank in Umte. You have so many good pieces, Wayfast, Ultima Web, right? These are super capable players. You just have to get them in the position to make the most of those heroes. And Fusion University maybe getting a little bit fatigued towards the end, and this is, is this a sign? This is a team that we keep saying, thrives on those long, drawn-out overtime, map 5, game 5 sets, and they ended up ceding a point.
I think that, like, anytime Fusion University does anything bad, they're like, it's a sign.
Is it a sign?
That they're going to lose this season. But they have yet to lose, and until they lose, that's what I'm going to say. This is not the Fusion University of the past, because that experience really will come into play. In my opinion, no matter what the map win-loss, they're going to be terrifying in playoffs, regardless of what seed they are. Speaking of playoffs, we're going to look ahead a little bit, because I do want to talk a little bit more about Mayhem Academy, who, in this group, we've gotten 2 weeks of Group A so far. Mayhem Academy arguably looking the best.
I would say so. What a way to reinvent your team. With all of the swap arounds, kind of with, XL2, there were some questions there. A lot of these academy teams facing periods of restructuring, right? And Mayhem Academy, they were one of those teams where you always said, you have such great players there. They just couldn't quite, string things together. Like Fact Fiction was on the team. Now he's doing amazingly. He just wasn't a right fit for Mayhem. So signs bode really well for Mayhem coming in here. I would be, palm sweaty and need some moist towelettes if I was facing Mayhem Academy, because they look rock solid. Yep. Granted, their matches so far have been against Path to Pro teams.
That is true. That is true. The strength of schedule not as good as some of the other teams, but they're doing what they need to do. With a weaker strength of schedule, they have the 8-0 map differential. So they're checking their boxes, crossing their T's, dotting their I's. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with unless something crazy happens, because Megachu has brought something special to that team, I think.
It's so great to see.
Yeah, Fusion University winning that 3-1 against